interesting. It looks like the next match that we're going to is going to be Stoic David, the winner of the previous game, against Haffy from Eternal Dreamers. This is going to be a ZVP, and I do have some biological information about Haffy. It turns out that he's a 17-year-old, so another young player. Started playing Brood War when he was 12, so about 5 years ago, which is a little bit late for Brood War, but hey, better late than never. He's been playing RTS games since he was about 5, pretty much all his life. He started with Empire Earth and then went into, obviously Brood War and into StarCraft 2. Has loved him his entire life. Played on and off constantly until... what in the world is that? They typed these up, so this sentence does not make sense. At any rate, he says that he's
grammar, folks.
He's pretty good at computer games. His friends always thought he was really good at computer games, but he's been working on it, and he can finally admit to himself that he feels like he's pretty good at it. And apparently, he's won the Sacramento Land Fest twice in a row, and is hopefully going to win it again this year. He's been rank 1 Masters North America a few times on SC2Ranks.com, so definitely a powerful player, and he goes by the name of Koi Zazertos.
Heyo, cool. That's awesome. And as we said, we reach out to the teams. This is the community team league, so we want to tell you as much as we can about them. Was there any Twitter info in there for the players? I know one of the teams sent us Twitter info, but I can't remember which one.
I don't.
Well, anyway, search their names on Twitter and you'll find them. We'll do a little research here and see if I can find that. Some have stream links too that we want to share with you to give people some exposure. Also, just a reminder that as more people join us, give us some feedback of what you think of the cast today in chat or on Twitter, so we can know what you're thinking. But I think we got game 2 all set here. It's going to be Stoic David versus Haffy, PVZ, if you are ready.
I'm ready. They are ready.
All right, jumping right on into it.
All right.
In the lower right-hand corner on this map, Akalon Waste, this is going to be our new Protoss competitor from Team Eternal Dreamers. His name is Haffy.
And in the top left, in the teal trunks, again representing Team Gravity, it is Stoic David. Now, last time we did see Stoic David do a very quick Zergling speed rush, really kind of making a lot of speedlings, running them across the map, rallying straight across, not really in any groups, just as they popped, they ran. Do you think that he's going to try a similar tactic against Protoss?
I think that's entirely possible. I mean, it's very strong. As I mentioned earlier, when he was doing that against the other Zerg opponent, that is exactly how MC got beat pretty handily once today, just by doing a Nexus first. But it looks like Haffy's going to be doing a 1 base or a 1 gate Cybercore, then expand, which is actually, it's been pretty much a lot more standard lately than the Forge Fast Expand or even the Nexus First, which was popular for a while. So I think the Zergs are just kind of realizing that, or going off of the fact that the Protoss are going to do this Nexus First every game no matter what, and have started to punish them for it. So now the Protoss fellas are now being a little more cautious and getting that Zealot out quick, which sort of also stops the Zerg from doing that mass expand, as they have to make units instead of drones and hatcheries. Stoic David showing us some of his math skills here.
Haffy is clearly impressed.
That's probably how we opened that overlay. So it looks like Haffy is getting down his gateway and his gas at a pretty normal time to get a mothership core quickly, as well as warp gate. That's been a pretty popular thing lately. Putting 2 in gas actually gets you the mothership core relatively quick. It does delay warp gate a bit, but people haven't been as concerned about the warp gate as they've been chrono boosting out the Zealot right away. It looks like Haffy's not going to be going that route, but the probes are going to be getting the chrono boost as David gets his hatch down right away.
Mm-hmm. And now David is getting his Overlord in to try and scout, see if there is a Nexus there. I imagine that having seen that they're going to be seeing that there isn't a natural there, he's going to refrain from putting down a 3rd and start making some units instead.
Although Haffy has not actually produced a single unit yet, I'm guessing that he's going to go right for the Stalker, which isn't too bad of a decision in this case, because David hasn't made too many lings yet. Actually, that's incredibly wrong, because he just waited for the Cybercore to be finished to go for that Zealot and the Mothership Core.
You know, he got lucky there because he didn't do any scouting, and if David had gone really heavy into Lings right away, he would have run in there. But Heffy is moving his probe off of the hold position, leaving that gate wide open. The Mothership Core does come down, putting down a pylon. He's going to run straight back and plug that hole. The Zerglings do come in and start poking at that pylon that just goes down, see the Mothership Core, and run for their lives.
Team, the captain of Eternal Dreamers right now is messaging me on Skype asking for the stream link. Sorry, guy. I'll have to get that to you in a minute. Looks like David's going to be starting to produce some drones out here. He's still going heavy on the drones, not many units, just those Zerglings hanging out front to be able to scout to see if any probes move out to put any proxy pylons, but both people are kind of keeping to their own base at the moment, just kind of macroing up a bit. Haffy is setting up out here to probably put some gateways. The interesting thing I've been seeing lately is the Protoss player, when they do this, actually Naniwad has been doing this a lot, is to do exactly what Haffy's doing right now. One gate, expand, and then 2 gateways at the ramp, with a 3rd building being a Stargate, and building it right in the wall.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Haffy didn't move that Mothership Core forward to deal with those Lings a little bit sooner. But we did see that David was able to notice that not a lot of army was present for Haffy, so he went and just droned behind all that, didn't make any more Lings just yet. He does get the feeling that there's a push coming, and it looks like there's 2 sentries, the Mothership Core, and a proxy pylon going down, gearing up for this warp gate. Stoic David at around the 6.5 minute mark, which is a little bit early, sending in his Overlord just to try and see what's there. Luckily for him, there are no Stalkers to clean that up.
David was a bit supply block there for a bit, but he did produce 3 Overlord, 2 more on the way. Still making a lot of drones with 6 in production right now, but Haffy's going to be trying to make a thing of this push. He's warping in a lot of sentries, a lot of zealots, and hallucinated Phoenix to see what David's position is here. Looks like he's going to have a decent amount of queens around, so this Phoenix is going to sneak right past everything. He's going to see the timing of the layer, and only 1 gas being mined, so he's going to know that there's at least 1 gas in the main. There's 2 gas in the natural, so he's going to know that some tech is coming up. 12 Lings in production. Looks like a infestation pit coming down, possibly some swarm hosts.
Heffy's now moving to the front. He sees that there's not a lot out there. Catches a queen off guard. Great force fields keeping it in. Does get the pick off. Another 2 spine crawlers go down in anticipation of this attack. Lings are at the ready. Heffy's Mothership Core moving a little bit forward, trying to see if there's anything at the top of the ramp to scare away this army.
Well, it looks
and the
like
Lings are deciding just to move in, and he...
Nice recall. I don't think any damage was taken from that. He recalled at exactly the right time, and the sentries are going to be able to get this Overlord out of Haffy's natural expansion, but the Lings are going to be coming from the front to make an issue of this. The sentries plugging the holes are going to get a force field down in time to keep those Lings out. It looks like he's going to have to actually waste 1 because the first one was a little botched, and waste 2. Ooh. Trying to save that sentry, doing his best, and he did get him saved, but wastes a little bit of energy there, which may be a bit of an issue if these Lings try to come back and make an issue of this. But
it looks like we're going to be seeing some Swarm Host. Enduring Locust is being researched in the meantime. +1 ground weapons from Protoss is being researched as well.
It looks
Those Lings are going back in there.
Looks like Haffy's going to be sort of prepared for this. I thought maybe he would be going for Colossus, but looks like he's just going for Immortal with his +1 attack upgrade as the Lings come in to try and poke. Mothership Core sees it. Force field goes down preemptively. No problem there. But he's going for Twilight Council, so I'm wondering whether he's going to probably be going for Zealot Charge, because he's making only sentries and zealots right now, spending his gas on the sentry and minerals on the zealots. But I'm curious as to why he hasn't been... Oh, there goes the Colossus. I was just going to say, I'm curious why he hasn't started a Robo Bay yet, because that's going to be real important as these Swarm Hosts come out, but those rocks come down just in time.
Just in time. Ditto, owe me a Coke.
I don't have any Coke. You Red Bull?
No, I'm okay. It's interesting that David has not seen this proxy pylon. He didn't really send out any Lings to scope around the immediate area, although as I say that, he's now trying to take that tower, it looks like, but that's still not going to be able to see it.
Yeah, he still hasn't been able to get vision of that pylon because of the grass there.
Of that army, and they're moving in. The Zealots just chewing through some Lings, realizing that's a losing battle. They get out and do not get trapped by those force fields there.
It's interesting to note that as of this point, Haffy has lost 0 units. He's lost 37 resources, but I'm not sure exactly how. Oh, he must have canceled something.
Yeah. And now the Locusts are engaging. Happy does have an observer there, so this could turn out badly for David, as those swarm hosts are going to be kind of flapping in the wind.
But those Locusts are going to keep this small number of units at bay because Haffy does not want to lose too many units to the free units, but he's going to send his Mothership Core in to try and... one more hit would have taken out that creep tumor. He's going to try and recede some of that creep, but Haffy's going to be...
those Hydras coming out, so you think he wanted to get away before the Hydras... Yeah, he does get the creep tumor, and the Hydras are moving forward, trying to do a little bit of damage, and it recalls itself and nothing else back. But at least he didn't lose it.
He does have Blink on the way, a Colossus building, a Colossus range coming down, as well as +2 attack. So Haffy's going to be set up really well here once this pushes, because all of the important things he needs is the Zerglings come in, is he going to see it and get a force field down in time? Lings could have totally snuck in there and sniped that Colossus, but they decided not to.
They saw the Colossus, though, and he knows that they're there now.
Yes, he does. Hive is coming down now as well, so we're probably going to see some Vipers coming in. Also, this is a... almost preemptive strike against Haffy because those Vipers are going to be what's necessary to deal with those Colossus. The Locusts are now making a push at the front wall of Haffy.
But that Colossus is there, able to clean them up, and they are coming from such a far distance across the map that they're showing up with very little time to do much damage before dissipating. Second Colossus now joins Haffy's army.
David is now getting his Hydralisk upgrades. So it looks like he's going to be making 2 Vipers now, along with Roaches and Hydras. But +2 attack is going to finish soon for Haffy. That's going to be important for the Colossus. 3 or 4 Colossus with those attack upgrades are going to be able to hold these Locusts at bay with the Observer, and also Templar Archives coming down for High Templar and Storm. Haffy's setting himself up quite nicely because David isn't able to make a huge push in here to really slow Haffy down. Haffy's able to get his 3rd base up, which puts them on a pretty equal footing right now. Yep.
And those Locusts are still trying to get into the front, but there's so many Colossus there that they are just dying before they even get a shot off.
Haffy also does have 2 Robo Bays now going, so he's producing Colossus 2 at a time, which is going to get his number up really quick. The Vipers now coming out. I think one is out. Yep, Viper's now sucking that HP away from the evolution chambers to increase their energy, but he's going to need a lot of energy to be yoinking 5 Colossus around.
Yeah, that is a lot of Colossi. The Swarm hosts are retreating as they see the army advancing forward. He is going to need to group up his army, and there they go. The Vipers are moving forward, getting ready to pull the Colossi. Oh, but they're out of position. They blinks forward and starts doing major damage to one falls. He doesn't get any... Oh, there's a gank, and 1 Colossus falls. And second one... Oh, yep, that one goes too. 3rd falls. 4th falls. More ganks. Oh my goodness, it's so much damage. And he recalls out, having lost 5, almost 6. Stalkers get left behind, and they are getting cleaned up. David's got to feel good about that.
David's got to be feeling great about that. Haffy is putting on a 4th base. David's 4th base just started. He's mining basically only gas from it, but David put himself on a great footing by catching Haffy out of position there with those. Yeah, I thought he was going to lose all those Vipers at first with that aggressive blink, but he was able to get those Roaches and Hydras there just in time to be able to actually do the damage necessary to those Colossus to kill them. But it looks like +3 attack upgrade going down for Haffy now. I haven't seen Storm research yet, so he's going to be keeping the High Templar around purely for feedback to knock the energy out of those Vipers. And man, if you can get an Observer up, the range on feedback is just awesome. So if you can get an Observer on those Vipers, you can really feedback them from a long ways away. And you know, if you
actually, and it looks like he's really banking on that as he continues to produce Colossus.
Yeah, if you actually think about that, that just means that David is killing his own structures because he's soaking the HP out of the structures to increase the energy, and then you kill the Vipers with the energy.
Well, those evolution chambers are absolutely there only to support the Vipers. They are cheap buildings.
How's that for metagame? Looks like there's going to be 5 Vipers here with the number of Hydras and Roaches
Locusts are going
growing
in to try and get a little bit of a flank on this army, and sure enough, the Zealots go forward to engage those. The Roach Hydra army moving forward a little bit, trying to catch those Colossi out of position. The Vipers are lagging behind the army. That must have been a mistake. And all the Swarm hosts are getting cleaned up right now. Those
nice feedback on the Vipers, though. Wasn't
Yes,
enough to
absolutely.
kill them, but they're going
And
to be
Blinding
pretty
Cloud
useless.
goes down on Zealots mostly, so that's not going to be super effective. And those Zealots are just huge numbers. They're running forward, cleaning a lot of that up. And David, whatever advantage he did have, is now kind of losing it, it would appear. And the main army of Heavy is going towards the natural third, it looks like. Yeah, he's going to be walking right in there.
If we look at units lost, David has definitely lost a lot more. David's just not been trading very well. As the Colossus Zealot's going to come in.
Bunch of roaches pop out here, and they're going to move forward, but the Colossus are just doing major damage to it. Hydras are in the
but
front.
the roaches get under the Colossus, the worst place you want them.
Oh my goodness, still 5 Colossus remaining. Hydras are coming in, just getting obliterated. Everything that just walks out is immediately dying, and David, GG's.
Oh, that was quite the game for David. He just looked like he was in such good position and went back and forth so many times.
Yeah.
David looked super amazingly strong there for a while, and then Happy, once he started getting that double Colossus production, got the +2 attack upgrades, got the Colossus and High Templar, just looked incredible, and then he got out of position there, and David just turned it around.
Yeah, he really did. He took control of the game at that point, and then Happy, remassed his army and started moving forward. And David looked like he was setting up for a really great attack, where he had a swarm host on one side sending Locust in for the flank, and his main army coming up from the other side, just to try and get a wraparound and really pin that army down. However, he forgot his Vipers at home, which were a key component to that army, trying to snipe those Colossus, get down the blinding clouds to minimize the damage that he's taking. And it just kind of all fell apart at that point. He lost the majority of his army, and he was not able to recover.
It didn't exactly help either that Blinding Cloud went down largely on the Zealots.
Yeah, that hurts.
So
Because Blinding Cloud doesn't do a whole lot to the melee guys.
Pretty sure their range was less than the Blinding Cloud reduces it to anyway. So that was a